With the high expectations and aspirations surrounding his leadership, the first 30 days of President Tinubu's tenure have been a period of intense scrutiny. In these initial weeks, the nation has witnessed the unveiling of his economic policies, the appointment of key officials, and the implementation of measures aimed at fostering a thriving business environment. Amid soaring expectations, questions abound that President Tinubu's economic stewardship has yielded tangible results in the last 30 days. Experts, however, question whether his policies have been inclusive. How has his administration approached vital issues such as unemployment, poverty, corruption, fiscal management, and cushioning the effect of subsidy removal and some of the fallout of his economic reforms? Well, these pressing concerns form the backdrop against which, of course, we will evaluate the president's first 30 days, and if you like, if you can say it, 5 weeks in office, and the efficacy of his economic reforms since he assumed power on May 29th, 2023. Well, for more insight, Mark Ogo, Editor-in-Chief, African Watch Network, joins us to explore President Tinubu's handling of the economy since the assumption of office and how he's responding to the yearnings of many Nigerians. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Mark. We appreciate your time, for taking time to join us now. Talk to us about how would you evaluate President Tinubu's first 30 days in office in terms of his handling of the economy?
Well, it will be too early for us to begin to judge, or probably I would say it will be too early to assess his policies, but we can, as a matter of urgency, make some observations based on what we have seen on ground. And if you look critically, you agree with me that Nigerian citizens are not smiling due to some of the hard policy, especially the removal of fuel subsidy, which a lot of political analysts or even economists have tagged to be in terms of corruption. Now I'm talking about in terms of corruption. You know, they've tagged it to be a scam, subsidy scam, and that a few cabals have been, eating deep into the collective ways of, or the collective natural resources of Nigerians in terms of wealth and others. So the coming of President Tinubu and his very quick to abolish the subsidies, and and that has resulted to a lot of hardship, and then Nigerians are complaining bitterly. Yes, I think it is good that we should complain now. It's also good that the removal of fuel subsidy is good for Nigerians. And and if you look at it the other way, we're told that 400 billion has been saved so far. So what we are expecting, or Nigerians should be expecting, is that this money that has been saved, how are they going to channel such money into the economy, back to the economy, that the ordinary citizen will have benefits, and also at the same time cushion the effect of hardship, then reduce poverty. I think it was last week or a few weeks, we were told that the poverty rate has also increased.
Has also gone up, right? Okay.
Yes, has also gone up. So all these are also the effect of the president's policy that he has
just a quick one.
But we need to suffer for it for a while, because at the end, it will do us good.
All right. I get your point, but are there, any significant changes or reforms that stand out for you? Even though you said this is too early to judge, there is subsidy removal already. There's reforms already going on in the financial sector with the unified exchange rate, and then of course the removal of the former CBN governor, and so quite a lot is also going on. We talked about in the forex market as well. We discovered that you can now make transfer or withdrawal or deposit of 10,000 US dollars, in cash transfer. So these are quite significant. But some of these, for you, which among these it's significant for you among these reforms that stand out for you?
I think it's also very important for us to look at some basic issue in economy.
Yes.
You agree with me that if you recall very well, the basic problem of economy, which you talk about, what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, effective utilization of resources, and then the efficient distribution of resources. These are very important aspects that as a leader, when you begin to misunderstand the concept of all this, then automatically your economic policies is going to fail. Now, President Tinubu's policy, especially on the parallel market, or if you like, you will say creating competition, in the parallel market, that everybody cannot compete, and you will not have the exchange rate. Even if the exchange rate, sometimes you have to determine if you go, for instance, you go to the forex market, you can actually determine what you want to bargain for, and so on and so forth. So I think that the policy is initiating is good for Nigeria, though it's hard. We have to bear the consequences, because the last regime was a total mess. I think he is trying to see how he can create a competition where everybody cannot compete. Everybody cannot say, "Oh, this is how I want my own market to run." Just like what we are having in the with the prices of fuel, where some, you go to some filling station, some are selling below 500, some are still selling 500. The rate of which people are demanding, if you go to the station, a filling station, you see that the demand is very low. So you can see that competition will begin to come in, and when you have an economy where there's competition, the economy will strive, because you cannot now determine. Some people will say, yes, you cannot determine the forces of supplies and demand, which makes the economy to stabilize.
So with what the reforms we have seen now, do you think these reforms are capable to bring about the necessary changes that will impact on the ordinary Nigerian? You talked about the basic of economics, which has to do with distribution, supply and all of that. But do you think all of these reforms we have seen, are there signs that actually it can impact on the lives of Nigerians meaningfully?
Well, I said from the beginning of the interview that it will be too early to just draw conclusions.
All right.
This is because that economic policies changes, just like we have climate changes and others. So if at the long run, the policies are well structured, having in mind that these policies you are making is not only for the rich, you are also looking at the poor. How can the poor benefit from these policies? What will now make the poor to, you pull them out of poverty? And that's why a lot of us are advocating for what the Labour Party presidential candidate, which will be, where he talked about, moving from consumption to production. That you create an enabling environment where people cannot strive in business. Rather than consuming, right. People will now begin to see the need to produce. And when you have excess production, when you have excess production, then you have opportunity to also create competitions.